very colorful.
Thank you.
I don't take offense.
Okay, go downstairs.
We're just doing calisthenics back and forth.
Okay, no problem. She looks good, so it's fine with me.
All right, guys, we're gonna you hold up your hands, we'll pick you, and then you speak in the mic. It's pretty easy, all right? Okay, we can do this. Who has a question for Taylor? Anybody? Anybody have any questions? Oh, thanks, I'm back here. Great. That's all right. Shaolin loser.
Tara, obviously Shaolin Showdown's coming back. How excited are you to get to meet Omi again?
Very excited. I think this version is even better than before, and the animation's amazing. Have you seen the trailer for it? It's amazing. There's a lot of new characters and different cast except for me, but it's going to be amazing. Gong Yi Teng Pai!
Oh, thank you, thank you. That's nice. If you have a question and you're near me, raise your hand.
First, I want to give this to you. It's a tattoo of Twilight Sparkle's cutie mark. So
Okay.
it's your Twilight Delicious.
Give it to me. I'll put it on my flat.
And
Sorry.
all right,
I'll put that
and
on YouTube. What? It's already on YouTube. Thank you. Oh.
I have a couple questions about voice acting itself.
Let's go for one.
Okay, well, all right. I heard about female opera singers who sing soprano that, like, after they have children, their voices change and they go a little bit deeper and they can't get up to the high notes they used to. Is that something you've experienced as a voice actress? Like, can you hit the high note, the high sounds like you used to when you were?
I've heard that too, but I don't really see a difference because I'm also a soprano and I haven't really noticed a difference. I mean, you're more tired when you have babies running around, but I don't think it's changed my voice really.
More questions? Yes. Thanks, camera guy. Get my good side. That's all sides. Yes, Mr. Mysterio.
Yeah, throughout your career, which character do you love doing the most voice acting?
I will say that I've never seen a fan base like My Little Pony. That's the best fan base I've ever seen. They're just amazing. I mean, I'm sure if you follow my Twitter, you know that the Brownies have raised over $30,000 for my friend's daughter that has a brain tumor, and without you guys, she wouldn't be here. So they're amazing. My favorite job that I could have died after because I was so happy was playing the mermaid's daughter in Return to the Sea Mermaid 2. Because I got to sing with Jodie Benson and look at her, and I don't know what little girl didn't want to be the mermaid, but it was totally surreal. And then second to that, I can't pick because when you think of roles like Twilight Sparkle and Bubbles and Raven and Batgirl and Harley Quinn, I mean, I've had such Timmy Turner, amazing roles. I couldn't pick, and they're all so fun. I have such a fun job and I have such a great time, so I couldn't really pick a second.
You're making it really difficult being in the exact middle of the row. I'm gonna work for this, okay? A little more space back here, so I'm gonna come in.
Annoying.
Hey, family show.
Okay, well.
You ready for this? Okay.
Are there any characters that you really connect to, and what characters would those be?
I'd say, whenever you're doing an animated role, there's a little bit of you in everything. Like I can see myself in a lot of the roles that I do. I mean, not physically, like I don't look like Timmy Turner, hopefully, but there's always like, when you first get an audition for a cartoon, they'll give you a drawing of the character and they'll give you a description of the character. Sometimes you'll get a show bible of what the entire show looks like and feels like. For example, when I first did the pilot for Lauren Faust for My Little Pony, she came over with drawings of Equestria and Ponyville, and it was just beautiful. So I got a real sense of what they were looking for, and then they'll give you a part of the script, and you sort of have to, as the voiceover performer, put yourself in that world, and don't think, oh, I'm a pony or I'm a baby. I'm really in that world for that moment, and so inevitably some part of me goes into every single thing that I do. I don't know why the bitchies are so much fun to play, but they are.
All right, this side. I feel like I've neglected you. It's not because I don't like you. It's because I'm lazy. Yes, ma'am.
Could you please say Twilight Sparkle quote?
Dear Princess Celestia, how about, oh, clock is ticking, I don't want to be tardy!
The desperation in your eyes, it's amazing, I know it. Yes, sir.
What was it like playing Harley Quinn versus a lot of the more bubbly characters that you play? She's so wild and different than all the other voices.
Well, you know, when I first booked that role, it was a little scary because I was Batgirl alongside Arlene Sorkin, who is absolutely credited and amazing with creating that role. So it was a little daunting to step into those amazing shoes, but and at first when I heard I was doing it, I listened to her over and over to do an impression, and then when I got to the studio, they said, we don't want an impression. And I was like, you don't? Because at first I didn't want to make the fans disappointed, and also Arlene, who created this role, and the voice is so distinct, and they said, well, you know, why don't you sort of mix it with your own voice? And so, I don't know, I mean, in some of the moments, which I won't give spoilers, I was really crying. Like, I was really in those moments with her, and I don't, think of her as particularly dark when I'm doing her. I sort of just feel her, like I said before, like I'm in those moments with her. And so, from Harley's perspective, she's just loving her man and protecting her man.
Mr. J?
Yes.
I don't know if you've answered this before, but I'm a little curious. Do you agree that the main character of Lollipop Chainsaw sounds a lot like Twilight Sparkle?
Oh, you know, it's funny, when I started doing Lollipop Chainsaw, I still didn't know what the bronies were, or the phenomenon, or the fandom. And it's funny when they make the comparison, because there's certainly a similarity. And when I first saw the drawing for Lollipop, my instinct was to make her a little cooler and deeper, and they wanted her to have that sort of younger,
You know, he loves me even though my butt's really big.
they wanted her to have that youthful sound, so it's sort of unintentional, but yes, I definitely hear a similarity, and often fans are like, I can't not hear Twilight when you're chopping a zombie in half. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Okay, good. As long as you like it.
Make the new challenge showdown interesting. Yes.
I made something for you.
You look amazing. Look at her, you look so good. Stand up.
Bring me your present.
I want to get that popular, I can just demand gifts. Give me something now. It's fantastic. Wow.
Oh, don't cry.
Honestly, I was the same way when I met Reuben Langdon. I was just all shakes and tears and...
I was like that when I met Jodie Benson. I burst into tears, and I'd already done several movies in Toronto with big celebrities. It never happened before. She's like, "Are you okay?" Like, I've just loved you for so long.
So I get it. It's okay. You're not weird. I love you.
Oh. Front row again, you're making me work.
I like it. Next question's back row.
This is great, I like this. I'm just gonna have a question ready. I'm just gonna walk the aisles. No, you can stand. It's okay. No, sit down. Florida law states you can't ask questions while standing.
So, taking a step away from voice acting for a minute, stage and musical theater perhaps, what would you say were your favorite roles to play or that you would like to play as?
I did quite a bit of theater in Toronto, and I had like 5 callbacks for Belle for their Beauty and the Beast before I left, and I didn't get it, so I was really bummed. But I have to say my new obsession would be to play Glinda. Because I'm popular. I could be popular. I just think I'd be adorable. I'd be perfect, so popular. Yeah, I'd like to do that role, that'd be fun. You'd all come, right?
Field trip, everybody. are outside, we'll head off and see that right after this. You ready? All right.
Hi. Could you do a little bit of Timmy Turner?
Ooh, I wish Cosmo and Wanda were here.
Mr. Pink Hair, here, let's meet halfway. How about we do that? Yes, I like that. He's skinnier.
All right, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color? Purple!
These interesting questions. This is fun. Okay, yes, back row. Here we go.
So, a little bit of a fun thing for us fans in here. If Raven, Bubblegum, and Twilight Sparkle had a conversation, what would it sound like?
Do you mean Bubbles? Bubbles. Well, Raven really wouldn't want to talk to Bubbles that much. Bubbles might say, "Hey, Raven, would you like me to teach you how to talk to squirrels?"
And Raven would probably get rid of her by saying Azarath, Metrio, Synthos!
I forgot. Oh, Twilight. That wasn't very nice, Raven. You need to learn about friendship. Dear Princess Celestia, Raven zapped Bubbles. Take him out. Fix it. Faithful student Twilight Sparkle.
Yes, nonchalantly, like, I might have a question. I might just be posing dramatically. Oh, don't touch my mics. Oh. This is a family show.
Overall, do you prefer more all ages characters like, say, Twilight, Bubbles, or Timmy Turner, or do you prefer the more mature characters like, say, Harley Quinn, Princess Claire, or Juliet?
That's impossible to choose, because there's so much adult humor in a lot of the kids' shows I do. Wait a minute. Like, it's not a difference between Twilight Sparkle and Princess Clara. Like, that's a real big difference. But I like it all. It's all really fun. You know, and because I do so much kid stuff, when I was doing Drawn Together, it was fun to get in the studio and say some of that stuff. I know YouTube's watching. So that was fun.
She leans back, pouncing. I have a question. It's perfect. Because I don't want to walk around. Yes.
So, there's a lot of adult innuendo in a lot of cartoons nowadays.
There is?
What do you feel about that? Like, do you think it's bad or, you know, like...
Okay, I think that the really hardcore stuff is a little weird, but
I will say it's nothing new, because the first time I started playing around with Twitter, I thought it'd be fun to make fun of the celebrities to go, me in a bikini. And I would like find pictures of my characters and go, me in a diaper, and it would be Baby Dill. You know, me naked, and it's Twilight Sparkle. Like, I thought that was fun, but in my searches, I've discovered that every character I've ever done is shtipping somebody online, and it's a little strange. But, you know, it's strange, but I said shtipping, but it's strange. I don't really get it, but it's fine if it makes you happy.
She'll be signing those autographs later, like, oh, whoa, okay. I'll end up on eBay. Oh, are you ready for this? This is big. Okay, all right, here we go.
This is Piper. Can you call her your #1 assistant?
Hi, #1 assistant. Oh, was that all she wanted?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Are you Spike? Spike! Put your hand up.
Oh, she's shy. Oh my goodness. She's terrified.
Oh! That's the first time I've heard that.
I'm people's first with a lot of things, so. Oh, yes, sir. My questions.
Hi, Sarah Sean. How did you like the future Twilight Sparkle?
Ooh, I liked that episode. I thought that was really cool. I just thought that was a cool episode in general. Didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. That was cool.
What did you think? Did you think the show was good? Yes, I think the shows I'm on are good.
Every show I'm on is good.
And
Yes.
answer. Yes, sir.
Just want to say, we all love you.
You have to raise your hand.
the fan base and all the fan created things about Twilight, both grimdark and hilarious and comedy ones?
When I met John Delancey, I met him in Calgary, and I introduced myself in the green room, and I just was a fan, so I went to say hi. I'm Tara Strong. He goes, "You're Tara Strong? Explain to me the bronies." So I guess he had already received a lot of fan mail for Discord, and I gave him my interpretation is that they're the most amazing, colorful, beautiful, artistic fan base I've ever seen. And that's so true. And they're so sweet and supportive and fun. And I said, "You should come to my brony panel." And he said, "No." And I said, "Yes, you should." And I like to force people to do things like that. So he came to the panel and someone asked a Discord question. He was hiding in the back. And I said, "I don't know, but he might be here." And everyone turned around and Delancey came up to the front. He was going nuts. And so, since then, and since seeing all, what he said in answer to your question is that Star Trek inspired a lot of sci-fi writing and stuff like that, and My Little Ponies inspired an insane amount of art and music, and it's really mind-blowing how, and anything I say on Twitter gets drawn for me in 5 minutes, and amazing. I think I put up one day Twilight Fart Sparkles, and in 2 minutes it was animated, and it was so funny. I'm like, I have to be careful what I say here, because they're gonna draw it. So I love all that stuff. Not just drawing, amazing art. It's amazing to me.
Ready now? Yes. You're rubbing your shoulder because you're sore. You've been had it for 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. I'm failing you.
In your Timmy voice, can you say Tara Best Pony? Oh, cool. Cosmo Wanda, just so you know, Tara Strong is best pony.
You can't even hold your own arm out for a question? Jeez, dude.
What is your favorite Harley Quinn quote?
Oh, my favorite Harley Quinn quote isn't one that I said on my stuff. I just thought when I was studying her, I loved her line where she said, "You'd think after living with Mr. J all this time I'd be used to a little pain." I love that quote. Anyway, and then there was a really funny commercial we did. I don't know if you saw it, it was at GameStop, and Harley was talking about the ride, and she's like, "We're not responsible to injuries to the brain, head, spleen," whatever, and then she was screaming. That was funny too. It's fun to be violent.
If you take anything from this today, it's that.
Tara Strong says, "It's fun to be violent."
Bring it to me!
Bring me more kids.
What is it? Very adorable. What is this?
Appears to be some kind of little pony.
Thank you.
Go Shirley.
Anyone else have presents? I'm accepting presents.
Do you have a question? Are there more presents? I was just curious. Oh, a question. Can I have that pony? No.
I figure the worst thing you can do is say no. Can I have a hug?
No.
There'll be a full hour of hugging later today. 6 to 7, it's the Huggathon.
I did say I was giving away free hugs on Twitter.
Friendship is deodorant.
That'll be $10.
Remember that. Friendship is taking a shower every morning. Yes. Oh, he didn't get the mic yanking memo, did he?
So, during your Lesson Zero episode, how was preparation of you actually just going psycho crazy? How was that?
I didn't really prepare for that level of crazy, but Megan McCarthy, who wrote that episode, literally says she loves writing episodes where the ponies go crazy. So she did that on purpose to me, and she's told me that she'd like to do it again without giving any spoilers. She likes when ponies go crazy. But when I was reading it, it definitely got crazier and crazier, and it was like a musical crescendo of crazy.
Yes.
There was no prep for that. It just kind of crazy on the fly.
We have a special request order we're working out. Another hug. It's gonna be a little one, a really little hug. You can make it, it's okay, you can go out there. Fly it up, buddy.
Oh. language.
Wait a second, your girlfriend who?
Germany.
Germany?
Yeah.
You might have to wait a while for her.
Yeah, she's always cute. And I got Batman Lego Part 2. Dad said no.
Where's your dad? You want me to beat him up for you? Yeah. Lady, might have to beat up a kid's dad. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I love you.
I like too.
Just remember, everybody, anything you do ever will never be that cute. Just stop trying now. Be like, yep, done with that. Yes, ma'am.
Who is your role in Sabrina?
I played a little British witch named Gwen. I had dark hair, and she never got any spells right. Did you see that? Oh, Frizzle, and she had to kiss a bunch of pigeons. I got to go to Italy for that.
Mr. Pink, it's gonna be awkward unless you sit up because I'm gonna lean over. There we go.
First, Jack Spice is one of my favorite villains.
Oh, stop it. No, go on.
Second, do you ever see yourself in the future working with Kevin and Michael Richardson?
I work all the time with Kevin Richardson.
I love him. He's one of the most amazing performers ever. I adore him.
Very funny.
Yes, sir. And your B-Roni shirt, whatever that is.
Yes, and I was wondering what you thought of some of the fan-made words, like you said, plot earlier. I'm not going to go into the other ones, but I was wondering what you thought of them.
Well, plot's kind of funny. I don't know any of the other ones, so don't tell me.
I don't know. Some of the stuff's funny. I think the stuff I make up's pretty funny.
Yes, sir.
How'd you start voice acting? Can I shake your hand?
Give me a career. Can you do that? You have 20 minutes left. I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you, man.
You know, I always knew, like, when I was 4 or 5 years old, that I wanted to be an actress and a singer and a dancer, and I like literally begged my parents to get me an agent when I was that little. And finally they did when I was 13, and then my first audition was for a show called TNT with Mr. T, which I did do. And then I did, my next audition was Hello Kitty. That was the voice of Hello Kitty when I was 13. And
Hello Kitty's Fairy Tale Theater's proud to present The Wizard of Oz.
And I didn't know that it was a career. I just thought, hey, that's another fun job to do. So the rest is history, really, from Hello Kitty.
So we'll get a job as Hello Kitty and you're set.
You're set. It all starts with Hello Kitty.
2 things. One, can you do one of Raven's spelling cans in Twilight Sparkle's voice?
Dear Princess Celestia, Azrath Metrion Zinthos?
I'm worried about number 2. I'm just gonna say that now.
Can I have a hug?
That's your fault for offering.
Oh.
You're hugging this. We're just gonna hug line at the end. Like we're
We'll have a hug line.
Stop with 20 minutes left.
Unless you're that cute little guy.
Yeah, after that, guys, you're all.
Sorry, no more hugs. I'm
Yeah,
the cutest.
she's all hugged out. Yes, you're not a spirit inside of armor. You're faking it.
Yeah.
You're right. I could just be seeing you. Okay, I stand corrected. That is a fabulous costume. Okay. All right, here we go.
What was the hardest role that you have ever done?
I'd say like vocally stressful on my voice was Terrence from Foster's Home. Because it was so deep, it was like, Blueface, you're such a creep! Like, it was just all the time screaming. And then anytime there's been like, Riku from Final Fantasy was a ton of work. And when you get to a job and the scripts are this big, and you're like, I don't want to zone out because I know how much it means to the fans to really feel like they're in those moments. So those kind of things can get challenging because when you're doing an animated cartoon, you're with other actors. They can book you for a 4-hour session in animation. So typically for a game, it's just you talking for 4 hours. So anytime there's a game where there's death sounds, like, can we get 10 more death sounds? Can they be more excruciating? You're like, that's kind of hard.
Wow. Yeah. All right, I see you have your paw up. So it's all good.
Discord.
All right, so since most or all of the visual work comes after the voice acting, how do you best prepare for a time and place scene where you interact with the world a lot?
Where you interact with,
You interact with your world a lot, where you have to do a lot of touching things and moving, getting hit in a world that exists in your mind, or is it going to happen post-production, but you're not there at the time?
Well, when we get our first scripts, they have all the stage direction in it, which is really important, because if the line is whoa, it's going to be different if I'm seeing a hot guy or falling off a cliff. So it'll say that in the stage directions. And then if you ever get a chance to watch an animated session, the actors are never just standing there. They're moving around a little bit within the parameters of the microphone. And in fact, for instance, Bubbles, when I did Talk to Squirrels, Tom Kenny was watching me and he goes, "Is this how you talk to squirrels?" And I didn't even realize I was going, I didn't realize I was doing that. Baby Dill, I would be like sucking on my finger and my script would be wet. Like you're moving around a little bit within the space because you still have to stay on mic. And then later, after it's been done, typically like Andrea Romano, who does a lot of the Batman stuff, we'll go in and ADR it later if maybe a fall's bigger or a punch is bigger, or we animated a little bit different if initially it was just you only kicked him once and now you're kicking him twice. So we can actually go in and fix it later.
All right, we're back here, way in the back. Yes.
Like compared to doing like the upbeat, happy, cutesy characters, what was it like doing Raven? He's like so dark and mysterious and everything.
It's funny because I do so much of that really fun, energetic stuff. I remember Jeff Bennett, he was Johnny Bravo and he's still on stuff, came in and he's like, "Wow, you're working really hard on this job." Because she never gets too excited, and even now, since we got a little pickup, it's just funny, we have a new director on that, and she just looks at me and goes, "Really?" No matter what, she just never gets more excited than that. That's all she ever does in every episode, so it's kind of easy for me.
That'll be your panel tomorrow when you're tired.
I'll be like, "Who's doing this panel?"
She didn't sound anything like she should. All right, sir, are you ready? I'm behind you. Yes, I didn't want to crawl over people anymore.
Two things. One, I've grown up watching you from a little kid and Hello Kitty, Teen Titans. I have grown up watching you. One, does it ever get old when you make the voices?
No, it's funny, it doesn't really, and once I create a character, they sort of live in my brain somewhere. And I hear that a lot. People say, "I grew up with you," and often people say, "Your stuff got me through a hard time," and someone at another con said, "You were my babysitter." When you're doing voice acting, you don't really know how you're affecting people. It's so different than the star system in the on-camera world, and I think thanks to the internet, it's so amazing that people can Google who does their favorite voice of whatever character, and then now with Facebook and Twitter, and we can feel all the love coming from everyone, we really appreciate it, because like I said before, the voice actors didn't know how y'all felt, and even now hearing how much I meant to people's childhood means a lot to me, so thank you.
Here we are in Super Pony Corner. Every corner is Super Pony Corner. Don't get jealous.
Do you do any vocal warm-ups before you record?
If I have to sing, I'll always do a warm-up. And it's just warm-ups that I've learned in singing lessons. So a lot of people say, if you want to get into voice acting, what's a good thing to do? And I always say, take singing lessons, because you need to have a good ear. You need to be able to mimic sounds and figure out different pitches. And then on top of that, I say take all kinds of acting classes and improv classes. And all the singing lessons I've had help me if I've got an early morning session where I have to sing, and I'll just do the exercises that I've learned in all those classes.
How does it feel to be the de facto leader of the Bronies?
I love it so much. I can't even describe how fun it is. And
I think I was at a con in, where was I? The person that had brought me there didn't know I was Twilight Sparkle, and there was a whole mess of fantastic bronies in the audience, and he didn't know, and I went, "You didn't know?" And I went, "Bronies," and 5 rows of people stood up, and I'm like, "Ooh, I have an army." I can't describe it because I've never seen anything like it before, but I can tell you that it all comes from such a good, fun place and such a loving, accepting place that it's so much fun. I had no idea, for instance, Twilightlicious was going to be